This is gonna be your last time ever to get the Japan, India, or China ball. Obviously, the vast majority of these are no longer for sale. Once they're gone forever. I can't bring them back. For a lot of these are like literally the only ones I physically have, so it's not even like I can sell myself. I want to keep. Looks like Japan ball is everyone's favorite, but don't forget if you buy 2, you get a discount, and if you buy all 3, you get an even bigger discount. So check the link down below to makeship.com before they're gone for good. I spent a lot of effort making this delicious food, India. I hope you will enjoy it. I fasting. Maybe no eat unless give independence. Okay, that's settled then. Will you eat it now? Oh no, I don't think India was expecting that. Now what's gonna be your excuse to avoid eating this British food? It's a funny comic because it refers to both how many Indians were fasting during their independence movement, but also to the fact that British food is seen as not that great to the rest of the world. So I guess India is now fasting just so they can avoid eating it. Although I did notice this chart which focused on best cuisines in the world. They did happen to put England in 29th. Wait, they're ahead of Thai food? Okay, this is automatically BS. Not that England shouldn't be 29th, but I feel like Thai food should be way higher. I'm gonna be completely honest, in my own ventures in London, I didn't think it was that bad. These memes are still funny though. Yo, Pops, I just watched another one of those movies with all your spies. Is it true you have all these cool gadgets and stuff? What? Don't be daft, my boy. Most of those devices are just a load of bollocks. There's no way I could possibly have those devices at the ready. Lame. That'd be totally cool if you had them, old man. I mean, at least it'd make you a bit cooler anyways. Good heavens, I'm late for tea with the king. Talio. This can obviously be seen as a James Bond reference, but I also got a little bit of Inspector Gadget from this. Or maybe it's actually supposed to just be Inspector Gadget, not even much of James Bond. I actually know very little about James Bond movies. Most of my knowledge actually comes from Austin Powers. Like the Americans were wearing some 3D glasses, but man, it felt so weird for the British ball to reference the king. At least we had a secret Northern Ireland cameo here. I know they gotta have all their gadgets probably hidden somewhere. They don't want to share it with us. Maybe they're too focused on making good gadgets instead of making good food. A sad Ukrainian ball staring at a very crazy Russia with a bunch of Z's all over it. Meanwhile, they're also looking at other fellow Z nations like Belarus, Syria, and North Korea. Ukraine makes an announcement that there will be no Z's in public places. Sorry about that, Zimbabwe and Zambia. I just found out recently they're the only 2 nations in the world that have Z's to start off in their name. They're not, however, the only countries that use Z's. Azerbaijan, Brazil, of course, Czech Republic, all these places are going to be affected. Oh no, even Poland. Yeah, you're now not allowed to even sleep in public. Too many Z's. So Russia has been very obsessed with the letter Z in the invasion of Ukraine. These are also some countries that find themselves allied to Russia, so that's why they're also holding Z's. I guess for the Ukrainians, all Z's, no matter where they are in life, are bad now, though. I just remember, though, not all those countries might actually have Z's in their name. That's just the English interpretation of it. Maybe some of these places will actually be spared now. Somebody's spying on Ukraine, Poland, and the EU. Oh, we have a box, I believe, from America. They keep supporting Ukraine. Oh, it's Russia behind those binoculars. But have idea. Oh, this has always been their secret weapon. To not freeze in winter, they just have to beg for meat gas, and we'll have to tell them to stop supporting Ukraine. As simple as that. Poland is not snow, is mud. Let me have my fantasy. I miss winter. Oh, they made a mud man, and he's painting it white for a snowman. We're spending so much money to buy gas overseas, but in the end, we're so warm. And feel bad about wasting money, but at least there's gas. What a disappointment. What happens to me winter? Meanwhile, in North America, it's a bit chilly today, says Canada to the US. Yeah, the whole Siberian attack kind of just like avoided Europe as a whole, I guess, this year. I think they kind of overthrew their target. Europe looks completely fine. Meanwhile, the 50 states are about to freeze over. Of course, Canada's fine though, because being frozen is actually just them in their natural habitat. They're actually way too used to this by now. And as I've said before, this polar vortex did actually come from part of Siberia. I mean, it was there just before it went straight through all of Canada and the US. But what's really strange about this is now a lot of states are experiencing a little bit of a heat wave, like a small one. It's been like a really weird last 2 weeks. And you know something real funky is going on when California is getting any sort of rain. We're just usually on fire most of the time. I guess this is definitely one way to look at it. The year is 1814 and we have Spain beating a Napoleonic France. The year is 1940 and we have Finland beating a massive Soviet Union. The year is 1975 and we have little North Vietnam beating all of the USA and South Vietnam. The year is 2022 and I not want to talk of it. And here are all the past examples examples that know exactly what they're going through. What's funny about this is you could have actually taken two different examples for the Soviet Union, and actually for the USA for that matter. Apparently, no one can defeat Afghanistan ball. We love the reference to Spain and Napoleonic France, though. Although, France was fighting a lot more than just Spain, but the stuff in Spain was brutal for them, so was the stuff in Russia for that matter. Oh yeah, good point. There's also Japan in the early 20th century, and they've been taking a lot of L's for a while now. I guess it's just seen as tradition at this point. Japania, I will declare war on you. No. Yeah, that's just how Imperial Japan rolls. And this is literally what took place in WW2. Poland declared war on Japan, and Japan was just like, nah. Okay, but no. In 1941, the Polish government in exile declared war on Japan, and the Japanese politely refused, making the declaration legally void. Tojo said, "We do not accept Poland's challenge." Love how that was described as they were polite about the whole ordeal. Meanwhile, the horrors they were committing in Asia are beyond human comprehension. Understand that Poland can't make it to space, but even into war? Greekland, EU wants to see you. Wait, Wise, what happened? Is important, about dead. Hello? Come in, Greekland, is a very important matter. Is about dead? Am I in trouble? In troubles? Why? You paid your debts in advance. I'm so proud of you. Who might have thought this could happen? After 12 years of my oversight, finally is not need. All despite fact of pandemic that stopped tourism, shipping you relied upon, or war in Ukraine, or global economic slowdown. Greece? Yeah! Finally free of EU dead party! Go Greece! Italy, Portugal, Spain, Poland, Hungary. Oh, even the UK balls here celebrating. Wait, how are you invited to this? Turkey in the background. Yeah, they're not happy to see Greece succeed. Greece didn't even want to spend any time with their boss at all. They decided to immediately jump into the partying. Wait, is this how you got into debt in the first place? Maybe we should limit the partying. And this did actually happen, the EU to end scrutiny of Greek economy, or they're gonna end the oversight. Now that doesn't mean that Greece isn't still in debt. They still are in debt, and by a lot too. But the crisis part about the whole thing seems to be over now. Only took 12 years. Wait, does this mean all the Greek has no money memes have to immediately stop? Things will never be the same. Hey bro, I had a crazy party on Wednesday. I broke my leg, and even though I walked to the hospital, I still need to pay $45,000. Oh man, funny you saying that. Yesterday, and broke my knee too. But even though I have to ride in Krakenwagen, hospital bill is still 0 EU. Are you communist? Wait, what? Yeah, this is America's go-to word whenever they hear something's pretty much free. I guess they're still living in the Cold War era. I just want to know, what leg exactly did the USA ball break? Also, what happened to Germany's knee? Clearly, Germany's healthcare couldn't have been that good because I don't even see it on his body anymore. Maybe they just amputated it. I guess if there's no money involved, it can't possibly be any sort of capitalism. This tornado ruined everything. What an overwhelming mess. Might I suggest made? Ooh. What the freak is your problem? Frick off with that stuff. I am not going to oof myself for freak's sake. Made for cleaning. Jeez, dude, chill. Oh, that's right, they do have their own French maids up there. Maybe that's why Canada likes to keep Quebec. Now I see, it's all worth it. This is referring to all the memes last week, referring to the Canadian healthcare system, where they would, I guess, supposedly suggest that you just off yourself instead of, like, you know, getting healthy or whatever. But yeah, there were just so many memes about it, the joke just kind of became like beating a dead horse. Apparently it wasn't even really all that accurate anyways, but yeah, sure those memes will continue to be pumped out though. Can I have my independence, pretty please? I'll still be your ally and pay for your royal visits. Fine. Give me independence, old man, or I'll oof you. Ungrateful wanker. Independence, I want. Ah, geez, Quebec, I'm real sorry to hear about that. How about we have a vote? Is that okay? Give me independence, partner. You'll have to oof me first. I noticed that our political systems and our geography makes us mortal enemies. Want to settle this beef over a hockey game? I will coup you and all your friends. Oh yeah, and I'll also make it to the moon first. Compared to his brother, he's awful, says France, looking at America. As America literally sits on Cuba and Canada's just distracted over here. I agree, he isn't like me at all. Certainly my least favorite of the two. Ah yes, a comic showing the many differences between the USA and Canada. One traditionally seems to handle things a lot more cordially than the other. I mean, Canada was just trying to play a hockey game against the Soviet Union, not get into like a Cold War for a couple decades. I love how France is down here complaining about us too, when they're a major reason why we became independent in the first place. You started this whole operation. Don't act like you aren't responsible for some of this is too. The same, but yet so different. Medieval Europe. Pope's gone, says Holy Roman Empire. I'll appoint a new one. You have no authority. I is the real Pope. Yeah, they're out here just arguing. Meanwhile, modern Asia. Dalai Lama is gone, says China. I'll appoint a new Lama. You have no authority, says Tibet. And now it's just Asia, arguing about something very similar. That is a comparison I have literally never seen before. Is that accurate? Insert one faith figure with another. So every year there is a new r/Polandball world map, which goes over all the events that took place over the last 12 months. Here's a summary of 2022 according to Countryballs. Now there's actually a ton of things that are being referenced here, and I'd say the vast majority of them are probably going to go over my head. I'll try to cover at least a couple of them though. We have some US states in North America complaining about the extremely high gas prices. We have Canada complaining that they're not being polite, emergency act now, with that whole honk honk thing that was going on up here. Meanwhile, Alaska right next to them, just cold and snowy and sad. Mexico saying, I may be broke, but at least I'm more civilized than Estados Unidos. Yeah, I can see where they're getting with that. With the big England funeral that took place because of the Queen's passing. Of course, for the island of Hispaniola with Haiti and the Dominican Republic, this is always what it's looking like, not just in 2022. Brazil over here complaining about some election stuff. Chile ripping up their new constitution. Argentina winning the World Cup and maybe stonks going up. Of course, they're still making a reference that they want the Falklands. The melting of Antarctica. The penguins aren't doing so good. Cut to Europe with probably the biggest part of the world map right here, or the most insane thing that took place in the last 12 months. They're just staring at Ukraine like this. Oh, they're getting boxes from the EU and USA for help. Whoa, that's sus. Love the small reference to the whiskey wars of Canada and Denmark sharing this island now. Apparently Ireland is having some housing issues. Italy becoming Gandalf the Grey. Love that there's a little San Marino inside their staff. Oh, I think I understand this reference. Albania is still calling to be part of the EU. Meanwhile, Montenegro just on fire. Serbia's got some fishy stuff going on. Oh, Kosovo. Even Georgia, of course, trying to join the EU. Maybe NATO too. The Saudis trying to sell their oil to Russia. I don't think the USA is gonna like that. India also buying their own oil from someone similar. Buy more? Sure, but give discount. China and a reference to the Winter Olympics where, yeah, it looked pretty weird with that in the background. Still pretty insane that they thought this would be a good idea. And they're also trying to figure out if they want to support neutrality or go with the Russia. Doesn't look like it would end well for them down there. Hee can hit mainland, says North Korea, as South Korea hides behind their walls. And then I love the edges of this huge world map have references to history as they overlook from the heavens. You got like the Mamluks, old empires, things that are long gone. Obviously the Roman Empire. Echoes from the past as they see everything that's going on. As always, amazing work brought to us by multiple artists. Definitely go check out our Polandball if you aren't already. And big thank you to my patrons. Drew's Goth Girlfriend. Triv44, aka Drew Come to Krakow Polandnextvacation. Twickenhamster. Drew's Argentinian Grandpa. $20 is a lot, Drew. Base Selene. B Wildfang. Bryton Is
Carmel
Saida.
Saida.
McSkillet.
Ortin
Patrick.
Allison.
Robert E.
RyeThePie.
The Polish Lithuanian
The
Commonwealth.
Mexican 760.
Veiotic.
And ZaneyBoi.